Ladies and gentlemen, when he's not on his phone, he's a charismatic son of a bitch. Put your hands together for the Boston Comedy Festival's own Mr. Adam Degi, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's hear for the legal immigrants. How about those gentlemen, huh? Look at that hair. Look at those shirts. No way I could pull a shirt off like those shirts. Oh, look at the ass on him. Let's do this, huh? How do we feel tonight, you guys? Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Get on up. It's bobsled time, I think. Oh, God. I like to start each set with a neck roll. I did 33 burpees this morning, just in case you were wondering. Not consecutively, let's not be ridiculous. 10, 10, and 13. And I just like to do neck rolls when I'm in public because people can tell I'm not athletic and then they just think I'm a serial killer. And I'm gonna kill a lot of people over here and then some people over here. And it makes sense because I'm a white male and that's what we do. We murder people, so. I Ubered here tonight. Did anybody else Uber here tonight? Yeah. Ubering is safe, but sometimes more dangerous when you're a moron like myself. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I Uber to my destination and I know I don't have to drive later that night, I have this unrealistic assurance that nothing else can possibly go wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like this comfort that sets in and a weight lifted off my shoulders and a voice in my head that just says, you can do whatever the fuck you want now. Did I just see you smoking meth in the bathroom with a prostitute? Don't worry about it, dude. I Ubered here tonight, okay? Did you just grab my wife's ass? Dude, her and I are gonna Uber back to my place, all right? Felipe's waiting for us outside in a Chevy Cruze. He's got 4.2 stars, that's pretty good. He's gonna take care of us. Unfortunately, I have to drive around the country doing this, and you can't Uber into other states because it doesn't make sense financially. So I have to drive to those gigs. And I can't really afford uppers either, but I have to stay awake. And at this point, what I've done to stay awake is I split my rides up into podcasts rather than like count it in hours, you know? So I know if I got to go to like Bismarck, North Dakota, that's like 9 or 10 podcasts, you know? Unless it's Joe Rogan, then it's like 1 or maybe 2 podcasts. And at this, what I really am into, though, is true crime podcasts. Anybody in here into true crime? Yeah? At this point, I've probably listened to over 300 hours of podcasts about murder. And I just want everybody in here to hug their family and friends and tell them you love them. But also don't trust them or anyone ever again. Especially if you owe somebody money or somebody owes you money, or if you're cheating on somebody or somebody's cheating on you, or if you have a life insurance policy, or if you have a will, or if your name is Will. If you know a guy named Will, if you've ever double dipped a chip in some dip at a party, if you've ever talked to somebody in public on speakerphone, you deserve to die, you should watch your back. If you've ever voted for anybody ever, if you've ever disagreed or agreed with somebody on Facebook in the comments, if you've ever had a political opinion at all, if you're a woman and you're above a 4 and you've been outside, actually, if we're being honest, if you're a woman and you're below a 4 and you've been outside, you shouldn't feel safe. If you've ever got out of bed in the morning and gone to work and then came home and went back to sleep and then left the next morning and did the same thing, if you've literally ever done any of those things, somebody's probably plotting to murder you as we speak. It's probably a good idea you just stay home, build a panic room in your house, leave enough room under the door for Uber Eats to slide food under there, and just hope your Uber Eats driver doesn't poison your food. That's pretty much your only chance of survival, you guys. I think bowling a 300 is a great way to tell your family and friends you've wasted most of your life. And I told that joke in Appleton, Wisconsin 2 weeks ago, so I have no fear. I worked with a 22-year-old girl for a while. It wasn't just the two of us, so it wasn't that creepy, but she said to me one day, she said she thought that the group One Direction was more influential than the Beatles. And listen, even as a 34-year-old white guy, I'm not that big of a Beatles fan, but I will say if you share that belief, you should run across a busy intersection and only look one direction. Maybe the intersection of Penny Lane and Abbey Road, that'd probably make a lot of sense. We're in Beer City, you guys. Who's drinking craft beer tonight? Yeah. What a bunch of drunks. It feels different than your dad, though, you know, because it's IPA instead of Budweiser, you know. I'm behind it, dude. I love craft beer. But here's the one thing I can't get behind is we're taking it home in something called a growler now. A growler. Really? Doesn't that sound a lot more primitive than something you should be bringing your beer home in 2019? Doesn't it sound a lot more barbaric and masculine than most of the people you see walk out of the brewery with one as they strap it to the buckle in their passenger seat of their Toyota Prius or their Hyundai Sonata or their Schwinn bicycle? You shouldn't be able to bring your beer home in something called a growler unless you've chopped wood in the last 24 hours. That's what I think. Shouldn't be able to use a growler if your life is dependent on Wi-Fi. That's how I feel. You shouldn't even be able to pay for a growler with cash, let alone pay electronically. You should only be able to trade other goods for beer and a growler. Like, I'll give you one of my goats, you can have a couple of my chickens. Give me one of those sheep blankets I'll throw in my wife. I just want a couple of growlers filled with some double IPA, bourbon barrel, chocolate brown, stout, Pilsner rye. That's what we're going to do at some point. We're just going to put all the craft beers in one beer. It's going to have the consistency of motor oil. It's going to be like 50% ABV, and you won't be able to brew it unless you have 4 DUIs. That's how it's going to work. That's pretty much what I already do anyway. I don't even look for the name. When I'm at a brewery, if I'm 3 to 4 beers deep, actually, if I've just arrived, I don't even look for the name of the beer, let alone the flavor or how it was brewed or what kind of hops are in it. The board is blurry. Everything's written in chalk. I can't read shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking at letters. I'm literally just looking for the biggest number I see up there. Is that a 9.8%? Is that a 9.8? I like how 9.8 makes me feel. I'll take one. Actually, is that a 12.5% in there in the corner? I'll take one of those. Would you like a sample, sir? No, I Ubered here tonight. I don't need a sample. I know what blacking out tastes like. Are you sure you want that, sir? That's not even craft beer. That's actually a homeless guy's urine. That's fine. I'll take that. It's got suds, doesn't it? I gotta go, though. Felipe's waiting for me outside in a Chevy Cruze. Don't you dare put it in a goddamn growler, though. Just, if that homeless guy's still here, just have him pee directly in a dirty work boot. I'll take it home in that. And I should get a discount. I'm part of the Dirty Work Boot Mug Club here, so. Just one drunk over there. Good for you. I don't want to get political, but let's talk about it. Smoke detectors, where are you guys at? You guys pro or anti-smoke detector? I'm pretty pissed about smoke detectors at this time. A couple of the smoke detectors in my house a few weeks ago, they started to go off uncontrollably, beeping every second over and over very loudly and obnoxiously, but there wasn't a fire or smoke. I guess when a smoke detector is 10 years old, what it does is it starts to beep every second over and over very loudly and obnoxiously to let you know that in the event of a fire, it might not be able to beep. Well, why don't you just save those fucking beeps for when there's a fire? I think the only reason it's a concern you won't be able to beep during a fire is because you keep wasting all your goddamn beeps. I can know for a fact there hasn't been a fire for 10 years, so how did you possibly run out of all your beep battery life? It's because you keep wasting them all. Beep, beep, beep. There's a fire. Nope, I just suck at making grilled cheese. Do I need to open a window every time I burn a queso sandwich? This is fucking ridiculous. So I got frustrated. I did what I think you're supposed to do as a tax-paying adult. I just ripped them off the ceiling. I buried one in the closet. I put the other one on the front porch. Problem solved. Can't hear them anymore. You got to keep them separated, though. If you keep them in the same room, they'll talk. Don't let them communicate. They're part of the Illuminati. That's how I take care of problems in my house. If something's making a lot of noise because it needs my attention, I just put it on the front porch. And that's probably why my wife is hesitant to have a baby. But I'm not a moron. I'm not an idiot. I know you can't put a baby on the porch when it's cold outside. I know that. I know if you live in the Midwest, you got like 3 to 4 good months of porch baby weather tops. I'm not a moron, okay? And I understand that the term porch baby sounds a lot more racist than it is. I understand that. I get it. Don't get the wrong idea. My wife is Indian. Those babies are going to probably look like a lightly grilled naan bread. That sounds pretty fucking cute. I don't know. I'm gross. I'm 34. Somebody else in here in their 30s, 40s, or 50s that used to be in their 20s? Yeah? Should be a lot of you. That's how age works. But we change our minds a lot, right? Like the shit you believed when you were in your 20s, you probably flip the script. You don't believe in anymore in your 30s, especially not your 40s. You change your mind on a lot of stuff, right? Sir, do you have the same beliefs now that you had in your 20s? No, not at all, right? Like, now that I've got a little bit more experience, I don't stand by the same shit I used to. You know, I've seen some stuff. You know what I think I'm going to start doing, you guys? Snitching. Have you ever thought about that? That's what I'm sick of biting my tongue. I'm going to start telling on people. I don't give a shit anymore. I want people to say that boy tattle. They say snitches get stitches. Not if you do it anonymously. Have you ever thought about that, huh? It's called witness protection, you stupid idiots. Have you ever thought about that? They say snitches get stitches. Sometimes they get cash rewards. Have you ever considered that? Huh? Shitheads? I wish my wife would over-exaggerate the size of my penis like she does with the size of spider she swore she saw around the house. I swear to God, it was like the size of my arm and it landed right on my face. Yeah, it did. You guys have been a lot of fun. Let's get the band back up here.